Look up at the night sky, count the stars. You see thousands maybe. Now imagine this. Every single star you see, just a tiny fraction of one galaxy, and there are trillions of galaxies. Trillions. How big is the universe? That question has haunted humanity since we first looked up and wondered. It's the question that makes your mind stretch until it almost breaks. Because the answer? It's bigger than anything you can imagine. And it's also right here, inside you, in every thought, in every connection between the neurons in your brain. This is How Big is the Universe by Paramendra, Kumar, Bhagat. And it's not just about numbers. It's about wonder. It's about realizing that understanding the cosmos changes how you understand yourself. Because the universe isn't just out there, it's in here too. Chapter 1. When we thought the Earth was everything. For most of human history, we didn't know how big anything was. We thought the Earth was flat. We thought the sky was a dome. We thought the sun revolved around us. We were the center of everything, because that's what it looked like. But then something changed. People started measuring, calculating, questioning, and slowly, piece by piece, our understanding expanded. The Earth isn't flat, it's round, a sphere floating in space. That realization alone was revolutionary, because it meant we weren't standing on the foundation of everything. We were standing on a ball, spinning through the void. Then we discovered the Earth moves. It orbits the sun. We're not the center. We never were. Each discovery shattered what we thought we knew. Each step forward made the universe bigger, and we got smaller. But here's the beautiful part. Getting smaller didn't make us less significant. It made us more curious, more humble, more determined to understand. Ancient humans looked up and saw mystery. We still do. But now we have tools to explore it. Telescopes that see light from billions of years ago. Mathematics that describes the shape of space itself. Imagination that reaches beyond any horizon. The journey to understand how big the universe is, it started with looking up, and it never stopped. Chapter 2. The Observable Universe. A tennis ball in a solar system. Scientists today can measure something called the observable universe. That's everything we can see. Everything light has had time to reach us from. And here's the number. The observable universe is about 93 billion light years across. That's a 9 followed by 23 miles. A number so large it loses meaning. So let's make it smaller. Let's use a metaphor that helps you feel it, not just calculate it. If the observable universe were the size of a tennis ball, the actual universe might be as large as Pluto. Read that again. The entire observable universe, everything we can see, every galaxy, every star, every planet is a tennis ball, and the actual universe, it stretches to Pluto and beyond. That tennis ball contains 2 trillion galaxies. Each galaxy contains hundreds of billions of stars. Each star might have planets, and on one tiny planet, orbiting one ordinary star in one unremarkable corner of one galaxy, you exist. You're reading this, thinking about this, trying to wrap your mind around it. That's the miracle. Not the size, but the fact that something small enough to exist on that scale can understand something so vast. The observable universe is everything our instruments can detect. But instruments have limits. Light has limits. Time has limits. Beyond what we can see, the universe keeps going. How far? We don't know. Maybe infinitely. Maybe it loops back on itself. Maybe there are other universes entirely, beyond our ability to ever observe. The tennis ball is what we know. Pluto is what we suspect. And beyond Pluto, that's where science meets imagination. Chapter 3. Time as size. The cosmic calendar. Size isn't just distance. It's also time, because light takes time to travel, and in space, time and distance are the same thing. When you look at a star 1,000 light years away, you're not seeing it as it is now. You're seeing it as it was 1,000 years ago. The light left that star before you were born, before your grandparents were born, before entire civilizations rose and fell. That star might not even exist anymore. It could have exploded, collapsed, died, but its light is still traveling, still reaching Earth, still telling us a story from the past. This is what makes the universe so strange. The farther you look, the farther back in time you see. The edge of the observable universe, that's 13.8 billion years ago. The beginning, the Big Bang, the moment everything started. Now imagine this. Compress the entire history history of the universe into one calendar year. January 1st is the Big Bang. December 31st is today. When does Earth form? September 2nd. Life begins in September. Dinosaurs appear on December 26th. They go extinct on December 30th. And humans? Modern humans appear at 11:59 p.m. on December 31st. All of recorded human history, every empire, every war, every discovery happens in the last second. 1 second. That's us. That's everything we've ever done. In the cosmic calendar, we just arrived. But in that single second, we built telescopes. We discovered galaxies. We understood the universe enough to map its size, its age, its structure. In one cosmic second, we went from staring at stars to understanding what stars are. That's not insignificant. That's extraordinary. Chapter 4, The Cosmic Web. Galaxies like neurons. Zoom out far enough, and the universe looks like something familiar. A web, a network. Galaxies connected by invisible threads of dark matter and dark energy. It looks like a neural network, like a brain. And here's where it gets profound. Your brain has about 86 billion neurons. The observable universe has about 2 trillion galaxies. Different scales, same structure. Clusters of galaxies grouped together. Superclusters forming larger structures. Vast empty spaces in between. Filaments of matter connecting everything, like synapses firing across a mind. Is the universe conscious? No one's saying that, but the pattern is there. Connection, structure, complexity emerging from simple rules. Your thoughts are electrical signals moving between neurons. The universe is galaxies drifting through space, held together by gravity. Different mechanisms, same architecture. What does that mean? Maybe nothing. Maybe everything. Maybe it means the same laws that govern stars also govern minds. Maybe it means complexity is inevitable. Maybe it means we're not separate from the cosmos. We're part of it, made from it, reflecting it. When you think, you're using stardust organized into patterns. When you love, you're acting on forces as universal as gravity. When you wonder about the universe, you're the universe wondering about itself. That's the real answer to how big is the universe. It's as big as everything, and you're part of that everything. Chapter 5, Dark Matter and Dark Energy, the 95% we can't see. Here's something humbling. Everything we can see, stars, galaxies, planets, gas clouds, makes up only 5% of the universe. 5%, that's it. The rest? Dark matter and dark energy. We can't see them. We can't touch them. We can only detect their effects. The gravity that holds galaxies together, the force that's making the universe expand faster and faster. 95% of the universe is invisible, unknown, beyond our current understanding. Think about that. We've mapped the cosmic web. We've measured the observable universe. We've traced the history of time itself, and we're only seeing 5% of what's actually there. The rest is mystery, and that's not a failure. That's a frontier. Dark matter holds galaxies together. Without it, they'd fly apart. Stars would scatter. Planets wouldn't form. Life wouldn't exist. Dark energy is pushing the universe to expand faster and faster. Eventually, galaxies will be so far apart that light from one will never reach another. The universe will go dark, cold, alone. But that's billions of years away. For now, we're in a cosmic sweet spot, close enough to see other galaxies, advanced enough to understand what we're seeing. We're living in the era when the universe can still be observed, when minds like ours can look out and wonder. That won't last forever. So the question isn't just how big is the universe? It's how much time do we have to understand it before it becomes unknowable? Chapter 6, Ancient Wisdom Meets Modern Science. Here's where the book takes a turn, because science isn't the only way humans have tried to understand the cosmos. Ancient Indian texts, like the Srimad Bhagavatam and Siddhanta Shiromani, contain descriptions of the universe's size, not in light years. In yojanas, a traditional unit of measurement. According to these texts, the universe has layers, 7 layers surrounding the inner cosmos, each layer 10 times thicker than the last. Water, fire, air, space, mind, intelligence, ego. Using these descriptions, ancient scholars calculated the universe's diameter at roughly 90 billion light years, remarkably close to modern estimates of the observable universe. How? How did they know? Some say intuition, some say divine revelation, some say mathematics passed down through generations, some say coincidence. But here's the real point. Humanity has always been trying to answer the same question. How big is everything? Where do we fit? Science uses telescopes and equations. Spirituality uses meditation and metaphor. But they're both reaching for the same truth, that the universe is vast, that we're small, that understanding our place in it matters. Maybe science and spirituality aren't opposites. Maybe they're different languages describing the same mystery. One measures with instruments, the other measures with consciousness. Both are valid, both are limited, both point to something beyond themselves. Chapter 7. The Universe Within. The most profound realization isn't about the size of space, it's about the size of awareness. You are a collection of atoms that were forged in stars. Your body is made of elements created in supernova explosions billions of years ago. You are literally stardust, but you're not just matter. You're matter that thinks, matter that asks questions, matter that looks at the universe and tries to understand it. That's the real miracle. Not that the universe is big, but that something small can comprehend something infinite. Your brain, 3 pounds of tissue, 86 billion neurons, can hold the concept of 2 trillion galaxies, can understand light years, can visualize the Big Bang, can wonder about what came before, what comes after, what it all means. Consciousness is the universe looking at itself. When you gaze at stars, you're not separate from them. You're part of the same system, thinking, observing, existing. The universe isn't just out there, it's in every breath, every thought, every connection you make with another person. Love is as universal as gravity. Compassion is as real as dark matter. When you act with kindness, you're aligning with forces that shape galaxies. When you create, you're participating in the same process that creates stars. You're not outside the universe looking in. You're the universe experiencing itself. The question that never ends. So how big is the universe? 93 billion light years across, if we're measuring what we can see. Maybe infinite, if we're talking about what actually exists. Layered and complex, if we're listening to ancient wisdom. Incomprehensibly vast, no matter how you calculate it. But here's the real answer. The universe is as big as your ability to wonder about it. It's as big as the questions you ask. As big as the curiosity that keeps you looking up. As big as the humility that reminds you there's always more to learn. The universe is big enough to contain 2 trillion galaxies and small enough to fit inside a single human mind that can imagine it all. That paradox is the point. Size isn't just about distance. It's about awareness, about the capacity to hold something larger than yourself and still find your place in it. You're tiny, fragile, brief, a flash of consciousness in an ancient cosmos. But you're also connected to everything, made from everything, part of everything. And that makes you both insignificant and infinite at the same time. So the next time you look up at the stars, remember, you're not just looking at the universe. You're part of it. You're how it sees itself, how it understands itself, how it loves itself. That's how big the universe is, big enough to create you and curious enough to wonder about itself through your eyes.